Well, here we are having a look at the 2014 Honda Civic, and I have to say I'm impressed with Honda and their fighting spirit, improving the Civic year after year. You might remember back in 2012 they brought out the all-new body, the 7th generation Honda Civic, and a lot of people panned it because the interior was kind of cheap, it was noisy on the road, and it really needed some more updates. Well, they did that. For 2013, they modified the suspension, they modified the exterior of the car, and they updated the interior as well. Now here we are for 2014. Yet again, the Honda Civic is getting some major updates. Sold as both the coupe and the sedan, and the SI in both coupe and sedan, the high performance versions. There's a lot to talk about. First of all, let's talk about the coupe. The biggest changes to this vehicle include the exterior, new front fascia, new bumper around the back. The wheel sizes have become bigger, no longer sold with 15-inch wheels, it goes to 16-inch wheels. In the SI, the wheel sizes go from 17 to 18-inch wheels. The SI really is quite an aggressive looking coupe. It even has a spoiler on the back. Now the thing about Civic, the reason why people like these cars so much is the fact that they're reliable, they're a known entity, and now you get a lot more features for your money. Now the 2013 Honda Civic sedan was a major improvement not only on the outside but the inside. The one shortfall of that particular car I always felt was the radio, and they've certainly gone after that for the 2014 model. These updates are not just for the sedan, they're also for the coupe. What you have here is a large screen. It's called Display Audio with Honda Link embedded in there. It's not available on the lower end models of the Civic, coupe, or sedan. It's sort of the middle and upper range gets this touch screen system. Looks like an iPad that's integrated into the dash. It really is like that. You touch on it just like you would with an iPad. There's a home screen, and when you hit on that home screen, then you get to the Honda Link. And what this allows you to do is to pair your smartphone, right now it's Apple, Android apparently is coming, and mirror what you have on your iPhone onto the screen. They have to be approved apps by Honda Link, but they are up there, and there are not a lot of them to start with, but they're hoping more and more of them are going to come. The radio takes a little bit of a while to get used to, but once you play with it for a while, it becomes second nature. My only disappointment with this system is the fact that there's no redundant round knob here to turn the radio up and down, which you use a lot when you're driving the car. It's push button on the screen, not the best design. The good news is there is a redundant button, but it's on the steering wheel, you know, left-handed, right-handed. It's really a preference kind of thing. But at the basis of this car is all the same goodness. The seating position in the Civic has always been fantastic. It's got great supportive seats, nice low steering wheel, split screen above it that makes your eye line very high. So now you've got the split screen, the great seating position, and the latest technology, not on every model, but on the higher trim levels that most people buy in the Civic line, that helps bring this car up to today's standards. Now Honda carried over the 4-cylinder engine, but they bumped up the power ever so slightly to 143 from 140. They were able to achieve that by going to a new exhaust that breathes a little bit better. The biggest change for 2014, most people are going to notice, is they've taken out the 5-speed automatic transmission and they've replaced it with a continuously variable unit. It's lighter than the old transmission, 12.5% lighter, and it has a much wider ratio of gears, 22% wider. And what that allows you to do is get the car up and away with a low ratio, and then at the higher ratios when you're cruising along at the highway. This is an in-house transmission. They didn't borrow it from another company or buy it. They've developed it. They've done the same with the Honda Accord, and it's very crisp and smart. It has the ability to drive in regular drive, sport mode, or even using the paddle shifters that go to 7 pre-select ratios to make this car quite lively. It improves the fuel economy by 6% in city driving. That's a major accomplishment because city driving is where we use the most fuel, stoplight to stoplight, and being able to improve that by 6% is pretty good. The overall combined rating in Canada goes from 6.2% city and highway down to 6 even liters per 100 kilometers. In addition, the great thing about the Honda Civic is just how good it feels on the road. You throw it into corners, it has independent suspension. A lot of cars it competes against do not have independent suspension in the back. They have what's called a torsion beam design. That makes this car feel much more planted on the road. So overall, more power, new transmission, more efficient, and still a great handling car. You know what I'm impressed with Honda? Is they seem to be doing more improvements to their cars as we go along. Typical car company has a car that lasts maybe 4 or 5 years and they do a mid-cycle refresh. We've seen updates to the Honda Civic year after year after year. They've addressed a lot of the concerns when the 2012 came out. They fixed them. They've updated the interior with this new model with the new display screen that takes a little while to get used to, but really is intuitive after a while. You've got the great looking design on the coupe here now that's been refreshed after the sedan was done for 2013. The ride and the handling is right near the top of the class. All Honda Civics have independent suspension, which many of the competition just doesn't have. And you can really feel that when you drive the car. Is it a racy car? No, but it just inspires confidence when you're behind the wheel that the car can do what you ask it, even if it's an emergency situation. So you've got more power, you've got greater efficiency now with this CVT, and a good overall package. I think their spot as #1 in Canada is pretty safe.